Hi, and welcome to another episode of Can't Stop the Growth. I'm your host, Chad Peterman, and today we are going to talk about the power of routine. So I am a huge believer in routine. My morning routine lasts up to 3 hours sometimes, and it is all about getting me ready for the day and to take on whatever challenges may come up during that day. I've got some really cool audio here from a Future Leader Series meeting we had a month or so back where I talked about the power of routine, kind of what mine looks like, and things you may be able to add to yours to see increased success. So without further ado, let's jump into that audio. A couple of these things are not exactly like things, but just like things I do, different things like that. The first one, as I mentioned before, is breakfast. I hear a lot of people say they don't have time, or I can't do that, or I'm not hungry. I'm telling you, breakfast is you hear it all the time, it's the most important meal of the day. It literally takes me 20 minutes to cook, eat, and wash all the dishes every morning. Now, it takes a little prep, and I have eggs and sausage every morning. Now, I get it. I eat the same exact thing every morning and have for like 2 months straight. That's me. So you may have to mix it up if that's your personal preference. I don't mind eating the same exact thing. My wife's not up at that time to tell me that we can't do that or we need to have something different. And she is right a lot of the time. She is a far better cook than I. But it works. And that's really what it's about, is finding something that works for you. But I would wholeheartedly recommend that. The way that I look at it that made more sense and gave me more meaning was to look at it as I'm waking up with an empty fuel tank and I need something in there to think, to move. That's what's helped me with all meals, really. Food is what is going to push you through. So when you feel drained and I need a cup of coffee, or God, I'm tired, it's probably because you haven't eaten the right food. Would be key. So I'm not here to give you any dietary stuff, different strokes for different folks. I would definitely recommend breakfast in general, for sure. And I mentioned it takes me 20 minutes to cook that and eat it and then wash all the dishes. The thing that I do that drastically helps me get that done is prep the night before. There again, I know it is extremely, extremely nerdy of me, but I literally have everything laid out. Like the bowl, there's 2 forks, one to mix the eggs, one to eat with. There's a plate. The skillet is on the stove with the spatula and the pan right next to it. But there again, think about all the mornings that you wake up and there's nothing in the right place. I don't even know where I'm going. And what kind of day does that lead to? Sucky. Probably throw another few other choice words in there. But I know that is going to be a very consistent part of my day, especially when I know that I'm going to probably be a little bit sleepy when I wake up. I'm not, I want to make things as easy as possible. I do the same thing for my clothes, and everything is all ready to go. And it gets my morning started off. There again, that momentum factor of being able to move. And that all happens the night before so that I know that my day tomorrow is going to get started off on the right foot. When it doesn't, then it's very easy to get in a rut and your day goes sideways. The other thing I do is before I leave each night here, I make sure my day is planned out. What am I going to do when I first arrive? How is my day going to progress? What things do I need to have prepared? What things do I want in the right spot? All of this goes into making a productive day for myself. the other item that goes into that, especially in the night before, is visualization. So if you ever played sports, I'm sure you had a coach say kind of visualize the night before how the game's going to go and different things like that. Visualize how the race is going to go, whatever it may be. That is something I got away from and then have gotten back to, and it helps dramatically. So when I'm preparing at the end of each day for the day coming up, one of the things I do is kind of visualize my day. So I'll open my calendar and I'll kind of walk step by step through my day tomorrow. What's it going to be like? What's this meeting going to look like? You know, what kind of feedback am I going to get? How's the conversation going to be in the meeting? Then I'm going to move to this one and we're going to talk about this, and I already have everything prepared, so I'm good there. Then I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to eat this for lunch, and then I'm going to move into the end of my day. And the most beneficial thing that I find in visualization is visualizing where the tough spots are going to be, where you could possibly fall off the horse. So for me, it's on days when I have a lot of meetings. So when I have a lot of meetings, it's very easy to go from one to another. And by that third one, I'm so drained that like there's no value whatsoever in that meeting. But when I visualize the night before, I know, and from past experience, that after that second one, I may want to put a little break, or I may need to like get a snack or something. Like I need to pep myself up because I already knew the night before that spot right there, wherever it may be, is going to be tough to get through. I already know that because I've experienced it before. But, you know, if I just keep doing that over and over and over and over again, well, that meeting at whatever time that is for me it's tough to do. Well, it's going to be tough every single day. It's not going to change magically one day. So whatever your commitments are, there again, visualize through them. What's tough? What's not? Oh, that's really easy. Or, you know, especially the stuff too, you know, tough spots, things you're not looking forward to. So like, I'm not looking forward to this, you know, to doing this task. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to visualize going through it. Things are lining up. Everything's going good. I actually got through it a lot quicker than I thought, whatever it may be. But that visualization has really, really helped me in taking the time to really plan out the day, make sure that everything's going to go smoothly. It also helps like on Sundays, like I'll do the whole week. So I'll kind of go through every day on my calendar, kind of find, okay, here's where I'm going to do this. Here's where I'm going to do this. Okay. Just kind of building and building helps me get more prepared. And it also helps with stuff that just pops up out of the blue. Like when stuff that pops up out of the blue, like I usually build into my visualization that stuff is going to pop up. Issues are going to come up and how are we going to handle them? But because I've already visualized it, it's not that big of a deal because I already knew it was going to happen. So when someone comes and, oh, we've got a problem here. Okay, well, let's figure it out. Let's see what we can do. Well, because I already knew something was going to happen. I mean, that's fine. That's the world we live in. But it definitely helps to move through the day with a little more ease, for sure. You know, the other thing, like I mentioned earlier, kind of one of my weaknesses that I'm trying to work on as a leader, one of the big things I did at the end of last year was I made a list of my weaknesses of where I wasn't good. Now, that's a tough one to make up. That sucks. But what it allows you to do is really get clear on where you can grow, where you can get better. Because oftentimes we make a list of our strengths. I'm good at this. I can do this really well. This part's really good. But we use those strengths to cover up our weaknesses. Well, I'm really good at this, so I don't have to do that. Or I'm really good at this, so it doesn't appear that I'm that bad at that. And really getting clear on your weaknesses really helps drive your goals really helps drive my day, because I want to look for any opportunity I can to get better, hopefully, at that weakness, because let's face it, no one likes a weakness. I don't. That sucks. Like, ooh, I don't want to do that. I'm not any good at it. Well, you got to do it to get better at it, or seek out help to get better at it. So I encourage you to do that. It's not fun. I will give you that. And it's not easy either. But it puts them out there in plain sight. This is what I'm working on. You know, if you've got a team that you lead, or heck, even if you're a part of a team, you know, let others know, hey, I'm working on this. Why do you think I told you guys? So you'll be aware. Well, he's working on this. Or if my goal, like I told you, is to create more debate and foster more conversation rather than talk, if you see me talking all the time, this excluded, if you see me talking all the time in a meeting, tell me to shut up. Hey, why don't you ask some questions? You're not getting any better. All you do is talk. Shut up. So there again, make that list and understand where you're at and where you want to go. The other one, which I've talked about a lot, but has gotten better and better for me, is the journal, is writing each morning. Kind of connected to the first one, writing was something I wasn't great at, but writing every day makes you a better writer. At least I think I am. Now, I'm the only one reading it, but I think it sounds a little better. I think I'm making some progress. But writing can really put you in the frame of mind. I've woken up many mornings, and the last thing I want to do is write. Last thing I want to do is like do anything productive. I'm like, literally just want to go back to bed. Like, I don't even know how this day got started off on the wrong foot, but I just feel miserable. Like, even coffee didn't help. Like, I don't even know where I'm at. And sitting down and grounding myself in writing, you know, about what I'm grateful for, or writing advice to my daughter, or just writing about like, hey, this day really sucks. I'm not in a good spot right now. I feel like crap. I could go back to bed right now. But as you write that, what you'll find, and I found on many a days that suck, is you can turn a day around simply by writing out 4 or 5 sentences about, but you know what? I'm going to try to turn this around. I'm going to give myself a little pickup. This is going to be a good day. There's no reason for it to be a bad day. And there's some sort of power, and I haven't done enough investigation into it to learn about it, but there's some sort of power in writing that stuff down. I'm telling you. Rather than just saying it, you know, we've all got a lot of self-talk in our heads. Writing it down seems to be like I can pep myself up in just about whatever situation I'm in to make it a good day with that. The other two things here that I've got. One is the scale that I got. This thing is awesome. It's $25 on Amazon, and it connects to your phone. So it's Wi-Fi, and it keeps track of all your stuff. And it does like, let me see what it does. It does, let's see, does your weight, obviously. Does a BMI, body fat, body water, skeletal muscle, BMR, does everything. It's $25. But it tracks everything and keeps like track of it. So there again, if weight loss is a goal, even if it isn't, it is always good to track something. And so when you see every morning where you're at, for me, it makes making a, you know, okay, well, obviously I don't want to go up. So how do I stay at the same, or whatever it may be? It forces me to make better decisions when it comes to eating. Hey, I'm not going to do that because I gotta get on the scale tomorrow, and I know between me, and the phone, I know what it's going to say. And so it's just one of those things. It's just kind of like accountability to a certain extent, which I find kind of fun. It's kind of like a game. Like, hey, can I keep this here? Or how do I make this better? Or whatever it is, in trying to trying to get through all of that stuff. So check it out. It's called a Renpho, RENPHO scale. It's like $25. It's the best $25 I've ever spent. I was like, it does all this for $25? That's awesome.
Is it an app?
No, you can download the app. It's the actual scale. It sits on the ground. The only negative I have is that the batteries did not last very long, so I had to replace those. And I don't have very many AAA batteries laying around the house. That I don't know. I would assume so. The other one is, I've talked about this before, is my phone. So I've done some other items on my phone which are making me more productive, which is pretty cool. So I've got my phone down to, I have multiple apps, but what I've done, and this really helps, is apps that you find yourself on all the time and don't want to be on all the time, put them in one of those little groups and make it hard to find. What I've found is the ones that I'm on the most are because they're right on the home screen and I can get to them easily. So the one that was always bogging me down was my email. Like I would find myself, I kid you not, like I had like a addiction, like to like just checking my email to make sure there wasn't anything in there. Like, oh, did I get another one? Oh, who's that from? What's going on? So what I did is I took it and like to get to my email now, I have to go in here. I got to flip over a couple pages to find it. Literally cured it like in one day. Because it wasn't right down at the very bottom where you can just get to it easily. When you open it up, you just click on it. And not that I don't check email, but what I've done is kind of compartmentalize when I check it so that it's not taking up and consuming my entire day. And as I've said before, the biggest thing you can do is, there again, we talked about having that community, going towards goals, different stuff like that, is get rid of most of the stuff on your phone. No one needs to know. I don't know a thing about the news at all. Don't care. Don't want to care. Yeah, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Good for them.
How'd you find out about the storm last week?
Huh?
How'd you find out about the storm last week?
Everybody in the office.
I have the weather app on my phone. It's kind of needed in this business a little bit. I got to know what the weather is. But yeah, I mean, that's, if you look at my phone, I've got it down to nothing on that's my home screen. So I just put all my apps and a little thing there. You find out you don't use them. I try to delete one a week. I'm like, I don't use you, get away. Because it's just a distraction. It really is. I mean, if you asked anybody, they're like, oh, I gotta live with that. I doubt it. I mean, there again, I get it. There's some stuff you got to have on your phone, some stuff you got to use, but a lot of it is just unnecessary. And if you're really looking to achieve goals and move into a positive place, the best thing you could do is cut out distractions, because ultimately that's what derails us. That's what knocks us off the horse is, oh, this happened, that happened, whatever it is. And then the last one that I have on here, and then I have 3 books as well that I think are really, really good, and just kind of relate to what we're talking about here, kind of more mindset, goal setting. But the last one, and we actually did an article in one of the managers meetings about this, but it's the concept of good. So I spoke about him earlier, Jocko Willink, one of these Navy SEALs. He came up with this concept of good. So basically, while I added it to my list of productivity tools, more of a mindset. So if you think about it, during the course of a day, what sends you off where you're heading? It's a distraction, it's a frustration, it's something bad happened. I didn't expect that, to whatever it may be. So he came up with this thing that his response to every situation was good. Good. something really bad happened. Good. There wasn't, when it comes to work, well, the person I'm leading is not doing their job. Good. There's an opportunity to teach them. I didn't wake up on time. Good. I got some extra sleep. Everything was good because in reality, a bad situation is a bad situation because we view it as such. So make the choice to not view it as a bad situation. It's an opportunity. And I know that's super optimistic. I get it. And are there times when I don't use this and get pissed off? Absolutely. But what I have found is if you do this, it can make your day go in the right direction. And it can keep it moving in the right direction. Not to say that something's not going to derail it at some point in time. There are things that will derail your day. But everything is a choice. You have a choice to be in a bad mood. You have a choice to say that that's terrible. It's all about choice. It really is. And that's the great thing about life, is we have the choice to set goals. We have the choice to make a habit. We've got the choice to help people. It all relates back to choice and how you're going to view it in life. I'm telling you, embracing these things, embracing the concept of good, embracing planning, all of this stuff, I am telling you, it will send you on a rocket ship to wherever you want to go, because that's what it's all about. Think about all the people that you will, if you've got a goal of being the best at this or doing this, 92% of those people are probably going to get distracted and think that some little situation is bad, and that's why they get derailed off their goal. But if you can somehow create mechanisms like this, create productivity tools which allow you to get through a morning without having any distractions or, oh my God, I can't believe this happened, you're going to be a lot better off in the quest to accomplish something. And that's the way I look at it. I look at what are the things I can do in my life that are going to set me on the right path, and then also at the same time kick me back onto the path when I want to fall off the path. And this isn't like militaristic type stuff. This is just how you view life, how you go about your day, how you go into your day. And I'm telling you, if you utilize these tools and you come from a place of wanting to help people, there again, wanting to help people, you can probably point to where your frustration is at most during a work day. What is it? Customer or someone not doing what they're supposed to be doing or not doing it right or whatever it is? Probably one of those two, right? I mean, most of the time. Well, if you viewed, there again, if you had 5 of those situations in a day, if you viewed 3 of them from the perspective of, good, okay, they're not doing their job, but as we talked about in leadership, that's my fault. So, my fault, how can we get better? Well, I can think of a few things. Let me make a little list. I'm going to get with that person. Let's go over these things. Hey, I noticed this went wrong. Here's some things I'm thinking that we may be able to do. What are your thoughts? Okay, well, we solved that one. We came from a place of, hey, we're still doing good. Whereas in the past, that could have knocked us off our path totally. Like, oh my God, she does not even know what she's doing. Or he can't wire up a furnace to save his life. What's he gonna do? We'll get back on. So if you did that 3 times and didn't have 5 where you fell off the wagon, that's progress. Your day's probably gonna go a little bit better. Probably gonna be in a little bit better place when you go home. So there again, it's all about the little things, all about the little steps that we take each day that are ultimately gonna get us to where we wanna go.